Hi there, this is Bales Winky Face, and thank you so much for stopping by. Today we will be reviewing another Tome tips, and today we are focusing on Tome 1 Awakening, page 1. If you enjoy this content and would like to see more like it, please be sure to like and subscribe. You can also catch me over at twitch.tv/BalesWinkyFace in order to catch me for a live stream. Let's get into it. So like I said, today we'll be reviewing Tome 1 Awakening, page 1. So let's first find out how to navigate to it. You will go down onto the menu and click the archives. From the archives, it may direct you to the current tome, but most likely you will not want to be on the current tome. In order to get to Tome 1, you have to click on Compendium and then navigate to the first tome, which is this red one, Tome 1 Awakening. Go ahead and click on it. Now, if you've already completed or made it to the epilogue of page 1, it will automatically put you on the page that is the furthest along. So let's go ahead and review Tome 1 Awakening, page 1. You will start here at the prologue, and then you will choose to either do a survivor or a killer challenge first. I'm going to start on the survivor one and go straight across. So the first survivor challenge, bring the light. Survivor challenge, repair a total of 2 generators. This one is pretty straightforward. As survivor, your main objective is to repair generators in order to escape the trial. This is cumulative, so you do not need to complete an entire generator all at once in order to count progress towards this challenge, and you should be able to achieve it within 1 or 2 matches. The next challenge, Savior Survivor Master Challenge. Unhook 2 survivors, must unhook them safely. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Now this one, along with other master challenges, must be completed within 1 trial. Now, in order to unhook 2 survivors and for them to be safely, you want to make sure that the killer does not injure or put the survivor back into the dying state within a certain time after unhooking them. One thing you can do to ensure this is bring the perk Borrowed Time, which is a teachable from Bill Overbeck. This will put the survivor into the enduring state instead of downing them if the killer attacks them prior to it being considered a safe unhook. And next one across, Skilled Operator Survivor Challenge. Succeed at 20 skill checks. Now, as you're playing Survivor, skill checks will be prompted while repairing generators as well as healing yourself and other survivors. Now, in order to succeed at a skill check, you must hit within the skill check bar. It does not need to be a great skill check in order to count for this challenge. If you are having trouble with hitting your skill checks, I would recommend just practicing. There's not a whole lot of perks to help you with this. There is the perk Technician from Fung Min, which keeps the killer from being alerted about a missed skill check, but it does still count as a missed skill check. Next challenge. This is happening, Survivor Master Challenge. Get a great result on 3 skill checks while using the perk This Is Not Happening. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Again, with master challenges, it must be completed within 1 trial. This Is Not Happening is a perk that is a common perk for survivors, and it can be found within the blood web on any survivor. It is not a specific teachable. With This Is Not Happening, it does increase the size of the great skill check bar while you are injured. This makes hitting the great skill check achievement a little bit easier. You can also run the perk Stakeout at the same time, and Stakeout is a teachable from Detective Tapp. The perk Stakeout earns tokens or stacks whenever you're within the killer's terror radius, but not in chase. With those stacks, they are then consumed while working on a generator if you hit a skill check, but it is not a great skill check. It basically turns a good skill check into a great skill check. So if you are having trouble completing this challenge while only using This Is Not Happening, if you pair it with the perk Stakeout, you will most likely have a much easier time completing this challenge. Let's go to the next line. All right, here's the first killer challenge for this one. Gruesome Killer Challenge. Hook 8 survivors. Now this is pretty straightforward. It's 8 survivors, not 8 different survivors, so you can complete this within one match. The only thing to kind of keep in mind for this is that it does say hook 8 survivors, so this does not count as cages with Pyramid Head. Mori kills, like killing a survivor by your hand, will not count towards progress with this. And that's about it. Scrapyard Killer Challenge. Damage 6 generators. Now this is a pretty straightforward killer challenge. One thing that I suggest with this challenge is to not run the perk Hexed Ruin while attempting this challenge, because if a generator is currently regressing, you cannot kick the generator or damage the generator on top of that. And if Hex Ruin is still up, the generators are automatically regressing anytime that a survivor is not actively working on it. Next one, Patched Up Survivor Challenge. Completely heal 4 health states of any survivor. As part of playing Survivor in Dead by Daylight, you most likely will be healing yourself and others through different methods. In order to heal yourself, you can bring a medkit or the perk Self-Care, which is a teachable from Claudette. Healing other survivors you can do without the assistance of any perk, but there are perks that can make that go faster. Since this challenge says any survivor, it does include healing yourself, but not recovering during the dying state. Liberator Survivor Challenge. Unhook 5 survivors. Must unhook them safely. This is similar to what we talked about before. You will be unhooking survivors, and in order for it to count as a safe unhook, the survivor must not be downed again within a certain time after being unhooked. Again, you can bring the perk Borrowed Time to ensure this happens. Claudette's Determination. Survivor Master Challenge. As Claudette Morel escape a trial. Complete this challenge in a single trial. This is a pretty straightforward challenge. Just when you are playing Survivor, make sure you select Claudette as the survivor you play as, and escape the trial, which should be your goal anyway. The only kind of tip that I would give for this one is if you don't have your Adept achievement for Claudette yet, you could try and do that at the same time, which is using only her 3 teachable perks, being Self-Care, Empathy, and Botany Knowledge, and then escaping the trial. Mechanical Obsession Killer Master Challenge. Damage the same generator 2 times. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Now, the only kind of hiccup with this challenge is making sure that you are damaging the same generator twice. However, this should be somewhat simple to do. If you find a generator that has some progress and a survivor is working on it, go ahead and kick it. Go away for a little bit and go back. As long as the generator has started to be repaired again by a survivor, you can kick it again. And the way you will know that is because there will no longer be sparks coming from the generator. Again, since you have to be damaging the generators, I would recommend against using the perk Hex Ruin while attempting this challenge. This is the first flex challenge that we're reviewing for this page. Bloody Rewards Challenge. Earn 50,000 blood points. Since it is a flex challenge, it can be completed while playing as survivor or as killer. Dark Triumph Killer Master Challenge. Sacrifice 1 survivor during the in-game collapse. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Now this one requires for the in-game collapse to happen in a match. There are 2 ways for the in-game collapse to be triggered. Either the survivors complete all of the generators and open at least one of the exit gates, starting the in-game collapse timer, or there is only one survivor remaining in the trial, and you, the killer, closes the hatch, thus triggering the in-game collapse timer. Now, in order for this to happen, you must get to the in-game collapse by one of those two ways, and you must sacrifice the survivor. This means hooking them. You cannot let them bleed out on the ground, and a mori does not count as well. Another flex challenge, Amateur Ornithologist Challenge. Disturb 25 crows. Now, when you're playing Dead by Daylight, both as killer and as survivor, as you are walking around the map, there are crows that are spawned by the entity around the map. Just walking around or running around the map will disturb the crows, and so this is a cumulative challenge that you can definitely achieve without really changing a play style. My main tip would be to, if you are playing Survivor, do not run the perk Calm Spirit from Jake, because that makes you not disturb the crows. If you want to get this done as quickly as possible, you could use an offering to send you to the swamp, because if you get the Pale Rose map, if you go to the large boat structure, a lot of crows spawn on that structure, and if you are the survivor or killer who disturbs those crows, it counts as several crows all at once. Next one, Reverent Killer Challenge. Sacrifice 5 survivors to the entity. This is pretty straightforward. Obviously, it cannot be completed within one trial. If you're not getting it right away, try not to be too hard on yourself. You will get there eventually. None Shall Survive Killer Master Challenge. Kill all survivors in a trial one time by any means. So with this one, you have to get a 4-kill, essentially. And since it says by any means, that also includes being able to mori them with either an offering or with the perk X Devour Hope. Now for this one, you do need to kill all of the survivors in a single trial. If you are struggling with this, there is the common perk Hex No One Escapes Death, which puts all survivors in the exposed state after the final generator has been completed. However, I don't recommend running this perk unless you really are struggling with completing this challenge, because it's pretty widely looked down upon in the community to be running the perk NOED, as it is more commonly known as. Alright, Brutal Breaker Killer Master Challenge. Damage a generator or destroy a dropped pallet 5 times while using the perk Brutal Strength. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Brutal Strength is a teachable perk from the Trapper, and it is a pretty straightforward perk. It speeds up your breaking speed for pallets and generators. You'll know that it is active because the bar while you are doing either of these actions will be gold instead of the typical color. Hungry Jaws Killer Master Challenge. Catch a survivor in a bear trap 2 times as the Trapper. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Now, this is a pretty straightforward one. You have to play as Trapper, and his power revolves all around using and placing bear traps. You want to place your traps in areas where survivors will go, or places that are kind of hidden where you think survivors will loop you around. This may be challenging at first, especially if you are not familiar with the maps, but one of the best places where Trapper shines is by trapping the window and corners around the shack, which a shack structure spawns on most maps in Dead by Daylight. You can also bring add-ons that allows you to carry more traps at once or carry all traps at once, and that could help you to complete this better as well. The last place you look, Survivor Challenge, unlock 5 chests. When playing Dead by Daylight, chests spawn around all maps. There are offerings to increase the amount of chests that spawn on the survivor side, and there are offerings on the killer side to decrease the amount of chests that spawn. Chests tend to be kind of a side objective for survivors. When you unlock a chest, it allows you access to an item within. If you want to make this challenge more noteworthy, you can run the perk Ace in the Hole, which is a teachable from Ace. This makes the item that spawns from the chest have add-ons automatically. Or you could run the perk Pharmacy from Quentin, which makes the first chest that you open guaranteed to be a med kit, and it also increases your chest opening speed. If you are having trouble locating chests, you can bring the perk Plunderer's Instinct or the perk Detective's Hunch. Plunderer's Instinct will light up the auras of chests near you for you to locate them. Detective's Hunch will light up chests and other things around the map whenever a generator is complete. Plunder King. Survivor Master Challenge. Unlock 3 chests while using the perk Plunderer's Instinct. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Now, I already mentioned that Plunderer's Instinct, that it lights up the aura of chests within a radius. And so this challenge has to be completed within one trial. I would recommend bringing offering to spawn additional chests on the map. You can either bring a yellow one or a purple one to spawn additional chests. If you are playing in a Survivor Friends, let them know that you are doing this challenge and ask them to not open the chests so that you have the highest chance possible to be able to complete this. Craft Times Over Survivor Challenge. Cleanse 8 totems. Totems are another item type that spawn within the maps of Dead by Daylight, and a maximum of 5 totems spawn on each map. Now, if you are having trouble locating totems, that's fine. There are perks to help you. And this counts for both dull totems and for hex totems or lit totems. There are a couple perks to help you locate totems. First of which is a common perk called Small Game. This perk will give an auditory sound and light up anytime you are looking in the direction of a totem or your character is looking in the direction of a totem. Once you hear that sound, look around, you'll find the totem and you can start cleansing it. Another perk that can help you is a teachable from Jill Valentine, and this is Counterforce. Whenever you complete cleansing one totem, it will light up the aura of the totem that is the furthest away from you. This can help you find multiple totems somewhat quickly within the trial. And the last perk, my personal favorite to complete these types of challenges, is Detective's Hunch. It is a teachable from Detective Tap, and I mentioned it earlier. In addition to showing the auras of chests whenever a generator completes, it also shows the auras of totems within a range. Empathic Survivor Master Challenge. Completely heal 2 health states of any survivor while using the perk Empathy. Complete this challenge in a single trial. Empathy is a teachable perk from Claudette, and this perk shows you the auras of injured survivors across the map. This helps you to complete this challenge faster because you'll be able to see where survivors are. The one hitch with this challenge is that you do need to completely heal 2 health states. So if they've already been partially healed either by a med kit, by themselves, by another survivor, it won't completely count towards this challenge. If you want to increase your healing speed, you can also bring Botany Knowledge, which is another teachable from Claudette, or We'll Make It, which is a common perk that increases your healing speed after unhooking a survivor. So between one or all of those perks, you can definitely heal 2 health states within a match. And that brings us to the epilogue, which will, when completed or when reached, will open up the next page for you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. And again, you can find me over at twitch.tv/BalesWinkyface to see some live Dead by Daylight streams, as well as some other games. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.